Okay, I think we're live on the air right now. Hopefully that is actually true. I'm actually not sure. This is the first time I've ever done this, so yeah, this is all brand new to me. Before I get too far into this, I do want to say that I did try this once before, and I just couldn't make it work. I tried to do this on my iPad, and it was a total disaster. So I've gone ahead and gotten myself an older laptop. Picture my I'm visible. Hopefully you can actually hear me. I have no idea. Yeah, and we're just going to wing it, see what happens. I will also mention that I have almost no internal filter. So if I say something crazy, just know I'm going to have dreams about it tonight. So yeah, I didn't mean it. Whatever I said about your lineage or your parenthood, I didn't. It's one of the nice things about making videos is that I don't have to worry about saying something stupid. I can edit it all out in the video. So it looks like there's actually some people watching, oddly enough, given the fact that you had about 4 minutes notice. I just want this to be an informal question and answer. If you have any questions, I'd love to talk about it. I just want to get down the process of how I'm doing this and, you know, what I'm up to. So let me try to find the comments. Can you build something Doom related? Adrian X. I never got into Doom. So yeah, I didn't really play Doom. With Quake, played a lot of Quake. Quake 2. We used to have office LAN parties to play a lot of Quake 2, but never any with the Matrix mod. It's really fun. Old games probably wouldn't enjoy it now. I'm not answering that hot sauce. How did you get started? You get that question a lot whenever you start woodworking. People always love to ask you that question. I was just, a homeowner with some tools, and we needed a bookcase in this very peculiar place in our house. And my wife was like, "Oh, you make it?" Like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And it was awful. It was like crooked. It was all butt joints. I used nails, and the stain was all blotchy. But it worked. It filled the spot, and I loved it, and I loved the process. So I just started making it after that. Just going to sort through the comments here. And this is all raw. I don't really know what I'm doing. Matthew, dollar bill clip was cool. Thanks. Thank you. That was actually really hard. I wasn't expecting it to be that difficult. So the last attempt, it worked really well. The video came out great. I was surprised. Actually have it. You can see it or not. But I really like the side. I couldn't get a very good picture of the side of it. But you can actually see the folds of the dollars on the sides. And that came out pretty cool. So thank you very much. Dippets are definitely fun. I enjoy those. I didn't think they were going to last. I didn't think people were going to like them because they'd be too simple. But everyone seems to be enjoying them, so I'll keep making dippets for as long as people actually like them. World of Warcraft. That's another game I never got into. Never did that. I don't play any MUDs or multiplayer games. I mostly play single player games. Elder Scrolls and Fallout and those kind of games. Do I have a day job? I do. I do have a day job. I'm a network analyst, which is just a network tech. I work on Cisco networks in my day job. I work 10-hour days, Monday through Thursday. So I actually get Fridays off, and Friday and Sunday are the 2 days that I usually spend at the job. So yeah, having a day job sucks. Cuts into your productivity. What's up with the Skyrim logo you made? What's up with the Skyrim logo you made? Lord Elbron said, what's up with the Skyrim logo you made? Head in the background of the previous video. That was the Living Hinge video. And I just needed a test cut. I've never cut on a scroll saw. I bought a used scroll saw off Craigslist. which was really neat. I went to this guy's house, and his garage, so like chest level, he had this gigantic platform in his garage, and it was a two-car garage, and almost the entire thing was filled chest height with this platform, and he had this huge train set. He was a model train guy, and it was amazing, like all this, you know, the little tiny people and the landscape and everything, and he didn't want to talk about it. So he was just like, here's a scroll saw, you know, this is what it is, you want it? It's like, well, but yeah, take it. So I bought it from him, and I didn't know how to use one, so I cut out the Elder Scrolls, the logo, actually the Imperial logo, Hebrew logo. But yeah, I really wanted to know what was up with that setup. IT worker, yeah, we're out there. I think there's something weird about IT. You know, I mean, when you work in a job that you basically don't do anything real all day long. I mean, I do stuff, but if the power goes out, everything I've done all day disappears. It doesn't matter how many subnets I routed or whatever firewall rules I created. When the power goes out, you're done. Now, so it's nice to have something tangible. You can actually be like, I made this, I created it. It exists in the real world, even without electricity. When are you going to turn a lightsaber? I don't know. I think I've seen those done so many times. I'm not sure. I don't want to do something that somebody else has done. So if I can make it interesting, you know, or unusual, maybe I'll do that. But I don't think I want to do. I don't think I want to do something that else. Maybe. Oh, wow, a lot of questions. Holy moly! Back. Andrew Latham. Hey, Andrew. I actually met you. I met Andrew. He is a. You're based out of Chicago. We were talking about doors. Andrew wants to know. He said, "Thanks for including the laughter in your videos, like the crayon dust shakes." You're welcome. I mean, the honest truth is that I used to be a woodworker, so I used to actually be a grown-up. And since I started this channel, I've turned back into a child. I'm starting to make very silly things again. But it is fun, you know. There is a point when you just go, "What the heck am I doing?" And you realize I've got to clean up an entire shop worth of crayon dust. And I got it all cleaned up. I just vacuumed it up with a dust collector. But I am finding, like, you know, bits of crayon stuck in weird places, like on the ends of boards and whatnot. So it's definitely a strange thing to have crayon dust in the shop. All right, going down the list here. Wow, you guys are asking a lot of questions. Sorry if I missed some of these. I'm not really sure. Not really good at reading and talking. Okay. Will this go up as a video later? I don't know. I think so. I think they all go up as videos later. And my Shop Talk channel has been dead since like last November, I think was the last video I made on here. I couldn't get into I mean, every video I was just basically saying, and here's another sticker for the sticker wall, and here's some things I got in the mail, and here's the last project I made. And I started to just be like, nobody wants to hear that, and I don't really want to talk about it. So I was hoping that if I could do something different with this, you know, like, I don't know, like this back and forth, then maybe folks would be interested in this channel, and we can actually make this fun again, rather than just sort of this, you know, this is what you do with a blog channel. So hopefully you'll find this interesting. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. And I'd like to have this back and forth because it's nice. I enjoy it. Okay, what was I doing? I'm trying to read comments. Worst thing for a shop here in Scotland is the freezing weather in winter. No incentive to go out in the shed. Ryan Evans. Oh yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Now, I mean, you know, I don't live in a place that has cold weather. You know, even in the dead of winter, we get some rain. I've never seen snow. So it doesn't snow here, so I can definitely see that problem. I was friends with a guy that lived in Dallas Fort Worth, and he called his shop the Three Seasons Wood Shop because he said he couldn't go out in summer. It was just too hot, you know. When it gets over 115 degrees in the shop, he's like, I'm done. I don't want to be out in the wood shop. So yeah, it can definitely eat into your time. Of course, the nice thing is if you're doing resin projects, you can do those indoors. So you don't have to be out in the shop. You don't want to stink in the house. If you can text, I'm never gonna, Orex. Textel metal Orex. I wonder if you can turn candy, like I've made a solid block of candy before, but I wonder if you can turn candy. Well, I've actually seen people turn jawbreakers. So when I made my jawbreaker, I did a jawbreaker ring. I brought some of the stuff. I brought some of the stuff out with me. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, I turned a jawbreaker ring. I just cut it on the bandsaw and whatnot, but I've seen people actually turn it on the lathe. So I just wasn't brave enough to do that. So yeah, I totally think you can turn candy. And honestly, it's probably going to be better for your tools than turning a block of salt was. Note to self, if you want to destroy every tool in your shop, make something out of salt. What build are you most proud of, Jacob? Um, it's probably got to be something for my house, something I actually use on a regular basis. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm always, I'm always happy when a project is successful, regardless of what it is. There's this thrill that you get. You're like, what a stupid idea I've had, and it actually works. But in my last house, before I had a YouTube channel, I had to make a set of cabinets for our house. So I tore out this old wet bar and I built cabinets for it. And I literally would just tell everybody. I'd like tell the mailman. I'd bring people in off the streets. Come inside. I made cabinets. You got to see them. They're great. It was awesome. I did frame and panel doors, and it was a big deal to me. So that's probably the project I was most proud of, and it probably still is my biggest project. Everything else since then is just been, less productive and less useful than that. The swing's getting a lot of use though. Kids are fighting over the swings. They seem to really enjoy that. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. So, all right, I've been at this 20 minutes and I'm already messing it up. Legos, yes, Legos. He loves Legos. You're stepping on them. What do you think, Matthew Peterson? What do you think about 3D printing? I mean, I think it's neat. I think 3D printing is neat. It's a delicate subject because you don't want to say something to offend people, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to 3D print anything because, as I've said before, I work with computers all day long, and sort of the goal of my shop is to not work with computers. So the X-Carve, which was a CNC machine, I took the X-Carve because I was so excited that I got an email that said, we want to give you a free X-Carve. And so it's this, and I know that they're different, the and a CNC machine and a 3D printer, but into my mind, they're the similar vein. You design a project, and one builds it from scratch, and the other one whittles it away from a solid block. So they're neat. I think they've got fantastic applications. They're really exciting. Being able to do design a wrench at Houston and have astronauts printed out in space is phenomenal. Do I need that in my workshop? Me personally, I don't think so. I don't want to. I don't want to devote too much of my time to doing things computer-based drawing or based. Just a personal. All right. Well, thanks, Alex. Thanks for stopping by. It says it's morning there, so he's got to get on with his day. Not sure where that is, but it's got to be further than Greenwich Mean Time, so it's got to be further than London, right? Because they're 8 hours ahead of me. So he's probably somewhere else. Australia. I don't know. I've destroyed Oryx again. I've destroyed tools with rust by heating them up and dunking them in water over and over again. I had to pay to make the Prince Rupert drops. Oh, but those are really cool. Have you seen those? They're these glass drops, and the end of them, you can hit them with a hammer. You can like smash them with a hammer. But the very tip, they look like a. Let's see if we can be delicate here. They look like a tadpole. And if you nip the end, whole thing shatters. There was a Smarter Every Day that I watched on it. I think a lot of other channels have done episodes on them. They're really interesting. I would definitely recommend checking this out. It's a really so. Cindy Hampshire, can you say hello to my daughter Lily? Oh, hello Lily. She keeps asking who you are. I'm a strange man who makes things out of crayons. Keep your crayons safe. Let's see. Team Cap. Jeremy wants to know, Team Cap or Team Stark? I don't know. I'm going to have to watch the movie. I'm a pretty big proponent of freedom, so I'm thinking I'm going to side with Captain America. It's a Captain America movie, so I'm hoping that we like the Captain's point of view. Yeah, I don't know. If you were, so here's a real question. If you were living in a world where people like this actually existed, I mean, there's a part of you that's like, we should know who they are, don't you think? I don't know. So yeah, if I was a superhero, I'd kind of be like, you guys should all be registered with the government, because if somebody can like, you know, ooze through my front door, I want to know where they are at all times. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Marvel movies. Love comic book movies. I feel like comic book movies are the new sci-fi. Like sci-fi movies just haven't been amazing recently. I'm a big Star Trek fan, love Star Trek, but I don't like the new Star Trek movies because I feel like they're just too good. Does that make sense? I feel like the new Star Trek movies are too good. They don't feel like Star Trek anymore. They feel like a blockbuster movie. And to me, Star Trek was more about solving problems with science than it was about ramming the ship at full speed and seeing how many Enterprises destroyed. So they're the most popular Star Trek movies that have ever been made, and I don't. So, but I love the comic book movies. So I feel like they're taking over the sci-fi world. I don't know if that's true. It's just an opinion. I have lots of opinions. Let's see. Joe's Basement Woodworking. Yes, I can hear you, but the audio is fading in and out, and I'm at 95%. Oh, so am I not coming in clearly? Do I need to? I wonder if there's any way I can fix that. I've got a little meter across the bottom of my screen, and it's showing all green. Can everybody hear me? If you can't hear me, type "I can't hear you," and then we'll know. Hear me. What's the nerdiest thing you do? Max wants to know. Well, yeah, that's a good question. Maybe it's play mobile games like this one. Let's see if I can get it to load up here. There we go. Marvel's Contest of Champions. I'd say that's pretty high on my nerdy list. I don't actually read comic books. I haven't done that since I was a kid. As I said, I do watch the movies, and I sometimes watch cartoons that pop up on Netflix. So there we go. There's an addition. That's pretty nerdy. But yeah, but I spend some time in the wood shop, so you know I have sawdust on me at some point in time. So that kind of balances each other. Make UDP jokes. There we go. Now you're talking. Yeah, it's a little choppy. Okay, well, let's try sitting a little closer. I need to get an external mic, I guess. I can totally buy one of those. This is an experiment, so I don't even know where the mic is on this. I'll try not to flail my body around quite so much. Hey, Heidi. See you in the comments. Black Cat. Never watched streams, but I wasn't going to miss this one. Thank you. Interesting fact, she is the only one that has a sticker up on my wall that is not a woodworker. So I asked for stickers from everybody, and so far only woodworkers have sent me stickers. But I'll take stickers from anybody who has a YouTube channel. So if you've got a YouTube channel and you want to get a sticker up on the wall, almost out of real estate, so you got to move fast. Yeah, Heidi's right over here someplace. What is a? I have no idea. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It doesn't sound good. I don't know. You should get that checked out, Matt. Matthew wants to know what is a something closer. I would definitely go to a doctor. Am I 39? I'm 38. I'll be 39 in August. So no, I'm getting close. 38. I was born in 77, which is why it is the end of all of my YouTube and every other channel name. 77 there. All right, Joe. Thanks for stopping by. Safe drive. Orex, my favorite project of yours has to be the jean bracelet. Thank you. That was a fun one. That was one of the early ones. Yeah, I've still got that. That right here in my box. I wish I had had a higher def camera back then, because I think there was a lot of cool detail in the jeans we couldn't see. I finally got a nice camera last May, and I'm still doing my best to try to make it like good pictures on the screen. So I was at Maker Faire last year, and I was talking to Bob Claggett from I Like to Make Stuff, and I realized I had to pick a nice camera, and I just went, "So what kind of camera do you have?" He's like, "I've got a Canon." I'm like, "Okay, I'll get a Canon." And that was the entirety of my research, because I stink at research. So I just picked what Bob had. So I've got a Canon camera. It works really well. It works a lot better than I do, and apparently there's a lot of settings on it. So, and as soon as I get those all mastered, then 4K will become normal, and I'll have to be upgrading it again. Do you take donations for projects such as material? Yeah, I've got a, that was Christopher. Christopher wants to know. People send me things. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. I can't guarantee that I'll use items, just because I never know what I'm going to make next. But I've definitely had people send me things, and I've got some cool stuff in the shop that I want to use, but I just never know. I mean, my last project, this one here, was an idea from 7 months ago. So, I just keep a list, and I use them when I can, when it pops up, when it makes sense. So yeah, if you'd like to send me out something, I have a PO box, and I can, and I'd love anything you'd like to send me, as long as it doesn't go TikTok. Boom. Scott, Hampshire. I subbed after seeing your HDPE mallet video. I like the unconventional approach to projects. What made you move shop spaces, and are you happier in the garage? Hey, Scott. Scott's up on the wall, too. I finally got your sticker on there. So I had a guy come out, Charlie Kasorik, did an interview with me. He was traveling around doing interviews with different people. He went to David Mark's shop, and then he went all over the place and visited all these other YouTube woodworkers. So when he was here, we were talking about my shop, and he was, saying, "Oh, it's a nice little shop." I was like, "Yeah, it is a nice little shop." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "So, what did you have?" And I was listing off of the things I had to sell to move into the shop. It's like, well, I had 2 bandsaws. I had I had a radial arm saw. I had a dust collector. I had a jointer. And I had to sell all those off so I could move into this shop. And I think it was at that point that I went, that stinks. I wish I had a jointer. I wish I had a dust collector. I wish I had a second bandsaw. So I asked, I started talking with my wife, because when I moved into this house, it had a shop in the back. And so it seemed silly not to use it. And I said, things are progressing, and I'd like a little bit more space, and are you okay if we talk about you moving out to the garage? And he's like, yeah, we can do that. We can make it work. So that's kind of what happened. I'm out here. I'm not fully moved yet. I'm still building shop cabinets, which is hard because, you know, I'm trying to produce videos too. So I'm a little behind on that. I have one bank of cabinets built behind me. I haven't built the drawers for them. I'm gonna build another bank of cabinets by the lathe. So am I happier? I think I will be. Right now, I don't like that I have to keep running back and forth between the old shop and the new shop to get stuff done. But I think in the end, this is going to be a better space. I've got to upgrade the lighting out here. I've got to upgrade the electrical. But in the end, yes, I think this is going to be a good choice for me. So I definitely have to be, you know, careful about filming now because I've got the sounds on the streets, got people walking by, get the mailman can drop off mail, you know. But yeah, overall, I think it's a good choice. Where in the world are you? Asks Ellie Belly Boo. That is a fantastic username. Ellie Belly Boo. I am in California, United States. And yeah, I'm in Northern California. I live about an hour north from San Francisco. So yeah, New Zealand's beautiful. New Zealand is definitely on my list of places I definitely want to go before I kick the bucket. And I imagine a lot less people there than there are here in California. Feels like wall-to-wall people here. Warren Downs, hello. How's it going? It's going well. Must be morning out in Australia. It's already tomorrow over there, right? You guys, it's the 30th. I'm still in the 29th. So I feel like time travel talking to somebody from Australia. Let's see. Tomcast. What kind of music do you listen to in the shop? I don't listen to music in the shop. I mostly sing to myself. So yeah. So when you hear those clips of me actually singing in a video, it's usually because I was singing in the video. It wasn't planned at all. I spend a lot of time singing myself. I don't listen to music because I never know when I'm going to be recording, and I'm normally out here making projects now. This is pretty much the only thing I do in the shop, make projects. So yeah. I don't listen to anything except for the sound of my own voice singing show tunes, whatever other nonsense pops in. What is going to be your next project? I'm not going to tell you, but it will probably be wood. So I'm trying my best to try to have a balance between plastic and wood. You know, I want to do woodworking videos, I want to do resin videos, and I want to do what I deem my crazy videos. So, you know, my crazy videos would be like crayons in the workshop, you know, black lights, HDPE, you know, materials that you don't see every day, colored pencils, that kind of stuff. And then, you know, woodworking, and then now the dippets, which are fully established. So, and I'm going to try to keep all resin in the dippet. So I don't want the resin, as it were, to pour over the others. And, you know, maybe try to keep everybody happy. Because I have woodworkers subscribed to me. I have people who are only subscribed because of the dippets. And then I have folks subscribed because they just want to see me do absolutely idiotic things, like turning salt or making a mess with crayons. So I'll do my best for a little while to juggle, try to keep everybody. Have you thought, Aaron is asking, have you thought about making a trick opening box? That's funny. That's funny you asked that because we were down at a magic shop a couple of weeks ago, and I found a couple of cool trick opening boxes that I'd never seen before, and another couple of interesting puzzles that I'd never seen. So yeah, I think I'd like to try it, but with all things where I say that, I'm adding it to this ginormous list of projects that, you know, is probably about 30 or 40 items long at the moment. So when will that actually happen? Sometime, I hope. Starfire, I'm sub because you amuse me. You amuse me. Thank you, I appreciate it. What has been your favorite video to make? From our New Zealand friend, Ellie. Honestly, I think the blacklight was probably my favorite video, and I got a lot of people angry about that, about me being unsafe. But yeah, the blacklight video was so much fun. I don't know, there was just something so childlike about doing things in the dark, and stupid. Okay, admit it was not terribly safe, but it was really fun to do the blacklight because it looked just like it did on film. I mean, you're sitting there in the dark, you turn on the lathe, and as you're, you know, machining away the material, it's just getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and the more shavings there are, the more you can see. I don't know, it's like that feeling when you walk into a movie theater after it's already started, and it's like total blackness, and all of a sudden everything just comes into focus. So yeah, I wish I had some more black logos. My nose is itchy. It's a lot. I need some more black logos. We don't have any in my area, so I'd love to get my hands on some more of that. What was that stuff you dipped and posted on Instagram? Shavings of something. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Hang on. So there's a woodworker in YouTube. There's a woodworker in YouTube. There's a woodworker in London that I follow, Sabas, and he made. I taped it shut. Why would I do that? Oh man, tape it all shut. Come on. He made a lightsaber and added a couple different kinds of plastic, and he had these really cool shavings that came up. So he sent them out to me to try, and oh, they just get on. Just get everywhere. But they're really cool. Can you see this? Where's the camera on this thing? There's really cool shavings, and they're very bright. They're like day glow. So I'm going to give it a shot and see what I can make with it. I dipped them into a mold when I was doing my bunny clip because I had some leftover resin. So it gives me a look at what they might look like. And that's around or something. I have no idea where it is. Anyway, so yeah, I have to look at the material and use it a couple times to see what things are going to look like. All right. Oops, and I've lost control of the comment section again. Shaving. Go away. Get on the ground with the crayons. And so sorry, I'm going to sort through the comments here for a second because I completely lost track of them, and I have no idea what you guys are talking about. What is your biggest pet peeve with YouTube creators? I don't think I have one. I don't think I have a pet peeve with YouTube creators. People who leave comments that say sub me without giving me any context. I don't know. I don't really have a pet peeve. It's hard to grow a channel, so I understand, that kind of stuff. But YouTube's huge. I was reading a stat. It's is it 500 hours uploaded every minute to YouTube? That is an outrageous amount of information. It is so hard to get noticed on YouTube. So you just really have to get lucky. Because when I started my channel, I didn't have any views. But my second video was shared by John Heiss. He just found me, just randomly searching around the web. He found my second video, shared it on his website. And yeah, I got a couple hundred subscribers after that. It was just a matter of, picking up the ladder. So I owe my channel's start not only to making videos and doing my best to make videos, but also to some friendly person picking up my video and sharing it with other people. So I hope that I have done that for other channels as well. Maybe we all should do that a little bit. Custom Chris. Hello, Peter. Hello, Chris. Chris has got a cool turning channel. He also makes carbide tools. Hopefully you're still doing that. I like watching Chris because he's got a cool accent. I don't know if it's Southern, but I like his accent. Speak different where Chris is at. Sorry. See, I told you in the beginning, I don't have an internal filter. I just say things, so I don't mean it. I promise. Handles. He turns handles. Oh, okay. My mistake. Nick Clements. Hello, the impossible shop has been impossible to work in, so I'm moving it to my shed. It will still be super small, but I'm hoping it will be more productive space. Nick, if you don't know Nick, he's the one that made the TARDIS upgrade. So I made a TARDIS, and then Nick saw that, and he made like this really impressive TARDIS. And, I show it off in my Q&A, 100K Q&A video. So, and he's always up to something. I think he made an animatronic figurine labyrinth. That was the last I remember watching. So yeah, I bet you spilled it. And it's still, is it still cold there in Michigan? Up in Michigan, you guys have that white stuff that falls on the ground. I don't understand. It seems way too cold. All right. Back down. Art from Wooden Words. Life is dangerous. Edited video is safer. It is. I'm just going to say something stupid. So if anyone wants to blackmail me after this video, yeah, go ahead and record this live session. I'm sure I'm going to say something idiotic. And I do it in person all the time, but then I can just immediately apologize. But now I've got 41 people watching, so you know, I'm sure I'll do something stupid. All right, moving on. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? I've already been at this 42 minutes. Wow, dang me, that goes fast. So yeah, moving into the shop, just trying to get things sorted. Finding that I don't really have a process. Before in the old shop, you know, when I wanted to do something, I would just kind of fuddle around. Now, you know, I don't have enough plugs for everything, so I'm standing at the bandsaw. I've got the camera on. I'm all ready to go. I turn on the bandsaw, and there's nothing. I was like, oh, all right. I had to unplug the bandsaw, plug in the drill press. And no, the drill press is unplugged. I had to plug in the grinder. So I've got to do all that. And then I've got my neighbor across the street. He's a woodworker. He's an older gentleman. He's actually like 83 years old. And he's all done woodworking. So he wants to keep giving me wood. So he keeps coming over. He's like, hey, do you want some more wood? I'm like, yeah. I have no place to put it. But a woodworker refusing wood is not a good thing. I can't do it. It'd be like if you offered me clamps. I just couldn't say no. So yeah, if you're come bearing wood, I'm going to say yes. But there's no place for it. I've got nothing ready for all of it. So it feels kind of clunky moving around. So if you feel that way in the videos, then just know that it's that way in real life. Tripping over myself. Can you shed some light on red feet above? I don't know who Nikki is. MOS. Sorry, I don't know who that is. All right, I'm gonna read a little bit in the comments here. Steve Barnes said, you know what I like most? You know what I like about your videos the more, I think he means the most, your honesty and how you are not afraid to share your mistakes. Yeah, I understand the reason for people making videos without mistakes. You know, it depends on the format of the channel. If you watch a video that's entitled "How to Make a Wooden Bench," you know, they want to show you the steps to make a wooden bench, and so it makes sense that they're not going to show you all of the errors that they had. But that's never been my intent. You know, I am not a teacher. I'm not here to teach. I know a lot of people get a YouTube channel and they get excited. They're like, I'm going to teach. you know, and I'm like, I got a YouTube channel. I don't want to teach anything. I just want to make stuff and see what happens. So it's a different premise. Why is my nose so itchy? You guys are making my nose itch. Whatever you're doing out there, stop it. Um, everybody makes mistakes. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. The example I love to give is if you're a woodworker, and you know who Sam Maloof is. Sam Maloof makes these amazing chairs, like presidential level chairs. Jimmy Carter, and he was long enough to make other presidents, Ronald Reagan. But he makes chairs for, you know, amazing, famous people because they're beautiful chairs. They've got amazing curves. But the guy cut off one of his fingers. He's like the best among us, and he cut off one of his fingers. So the point is, everybody makes mistakes. So if you're afraid of not showing your mistakes because you're afraid that people will think bad of you, then that's different than not showing your mistakes because you want to make a video that shows how to do something. You should never be afraid to show your mistakes because that's just a part of life. It's a part of everything we do. And you don't know how to do something until you try it. So I like to keep my mistakes in because I don't know, I hate editing, and it takes too much time to edit them all. Make it look like this. Any thoughts on Matthias Wandel's homemade lathe? Yes, I love it. I love that Matthias has had a lathe for however many years that has been basically holding up another piece of equipment in his shop, and a really nice one, like a high-end. Like I would easily throw out my lathe and take Matthias's old lathe. But it wasn't until he made a wooden lathe with like a 6-inch swing that he got into wood turning. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, I really enjoy watching this. I like him. I would definitely subscribe to Matthias. If you're not a fan of his, you should check his channel out. But yeah, anything that you can do to get yourself turning wood, that means making a Matthias Wandel lathe, then do it. Would you like some iron sulfate hexaconate? What is that? Maybe. I don't know if you would want it. It's poisonous. No. No. No, thank you though. I appreciate that. I'm just going to call you Oryx because it's the only part I can pronounce. I don't want any poisonous metal. Thank you for thinking of me. I do appreciate it. Let's see, what else have we got? Can you store all the wood in the old shop? Yeah, so funny thing about the whole shop thing. So the deal with the old shop was if I get the garage, then my wife can use the old shop for her own stuff. So I was like, okay, you're going to make a crafting station, you know, because she does crafts. I know that sometimes she wants this place to set up a sewing machine for different crafts. She's like, no, I want to buy animals. Now, I like cats. And when I say I like cats, I like having one cat because I can pet it and then I can ignore it and it can go in and out. It can poop where it wants, where it needs to. It can eat food when it needs to. It doesn't eat. I don't like animals that need my attention. But my wife is animal crazy. If she was married to a different person, we would have dogs and spiders, well, maybe, yeah, rats and iguanas and everything, birds. So she wants to turn the old shop into like a critter club. So yeah, it's hers, and I'm not going out there anymore. I think she's got 2 rats in a cage out there right now. So whenever I go out there, you know, I'm like, oh, look, rats are in the cage. I'm going to get this piece of thing and then go back through. So works out well for us. She gets to have her animals, and I don't have to have. You have my condolences, Peter. Chickens next. Yeah, so it's funny. My father grew up in Los Angeles, like downtown urban Los Angeles. And we moved here to Santa Rosa, which is kind of, you know, it's kind of rural, it's kind of farmlandy. It's the wine country up here. So he moved up here and he got himself an acre. And the man went crazy. He planted like 42 tomato plants, bought chickens, we had ducks. I was in 4-H, so I raised lambs. So I lived on like kind of like a mini farm, not a real big one. You know, we lived on like an acre and a half. It wasn't that big. But we had to go out and feed the chickens and the ducks. And, you know, I had to go do the 4-H thing. So yeah, I've done that. And chickens are dumb, ducks smell, and sheep, and I just don't like it. You get the oil all over your hands. It's not my thing. My backyard, my ideal backyard would just be flat concrete, a couple of lawn chairs. Besides, we get our eggs stored. They come without poop. Sounds to me like I would like your wife. We have 7 cats, 2 dogs. I used to have a rat. Yes, I think you would. Sorry, your rat passed. Yes, Heidi, I think you and Mrs. Brown would get along very well. She wants to buy a bearded dragon next, but apparently you have to feed them like crickets. So we're going to have live crickets in the old shop, which just means that I will never go back out to the old shop ever again. Question: Norm Abram versus Bob Villa versus Roy Underhill. Who would call to make a chair for you and why? Oh, that's hilarious. Norm Abrams. Roy Underhill is hilarious. I love watching Roy Underhill. But has he ever completed a project on a show? I mean, ever? He probably has, but I don't remember ever watching a Roy Underhill show and being like, oh, we're done with that bookcase. It's like, no, we talked about cutting this joint for half an hour. He showed us how dog holes work, and we didn't actually do anything. So yeah, Norm Abrams. Get out his nailer, pick out some glue from the draw, and make a chair. I'm in class right now. Oh no, are you listening with headphones? Are you supposed to be listening? Class. No, I don't think, Bob, you're right. Wood and words, words and wood. Words and wood. So words before wood, not art. Words and wood said, did Bob Villa actually build anything? Yeah, I don't think he did. And Warren says he used to have about 20 bearded dragons. I have to ask, what do you need 20 bearded dragons for? Presuming that you're not making boots out of them, there has to be a reason. Were you a breeder? Did you sell them to people? Or did you just have some, I don't know, like a rescue? Christopher's asking, would you ever live stream projects or even portions of projects? I know a full stream of a project would be unreasonable, but a small stream might be kind of cool. Any streaming I'm going to do on this channel. And honestly, at this point, it's up to you guys what you want to see. If you would like me to stream a little bit while I'm actually out here doing stuff, we can try that. I have no idea how that would work, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So the whole point of this is just for me to see whether or not this is actually a feasible option, whether or not people are interested in it, and it's actually if anybody's enjoying it. So, and I just want to spend a little time connecting with folks because I haven't been able to answer all of the comments anymore. One of the things I used to really like doing was answering every comment on my YouTube channel. Um, and at some point it just got too difficult. I just can't keep up with it. So just know that I read them all. You know, I'll thumb up comments a lot. I'll respond to as many as I can. But yeah, I'd like to be able to have this back and forth again. I really kind of miss it. So if you want to see me doing bits of projects, I can totally bring up a laptop and we can try that. Whatever. I'm reading comments. That's why I'm all. Also, Roy Underhill did all his shows in just one take. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Which is really impressive when you think about doing a show in one take. Considering how many cuts I do on a YouTube show, which is anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes, and Roy Underhill did a full 30-minute show in one take. And still, does he still? Is it still on the air? I think it might be. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, he should build something. Steve Barnes wants to know. Oh, wait. Designed by Philip. What do you think of all the people that think you look like Rob Dyke? I think it's hilarious. So I'd never even heard of Rob Dyke until I started getting those comments, and I went to watch his videos, and they scared the living daylights out of me. So yeah, I don't watch Rob Dyke videos, and I don't need those kind of nightmares. But I get a comment probably every video, maybe once a week. Are you Rob Dyke? Are you Rob Dyke? I think this is Rob Dyke. Are you Rob Dyke's brother? I think this is Rob Dyke. Do you know? Has someone ever told you you look like Rob Dyke? Nobody. But yeah, he won't answer my emails. I guess he doesn't like talking to people. Let's see. Steven wants to know, is Steve Ramsey really that nice in real person? Yes, absolutely, 100%. I've met Steve 3 times now, and he is always really friendly. The fact was that he invited me to his shop when I was a tiny little channel. I had 8,000 subscribers. I sent him an email, and he invited me to his shop, and I thought he was just going to let me come by and shake his hand, and then he shot a video, so which was incredibly friendly, and yeah, he's a nice guy. I heard he was at a place where he was getting hounded, like everywhere he went, he was getting hounded, and people said he got kind of snippy at the end of the day. It's like, well, this kind of makes sense, after every 5 minutes having to, not be able to walk around. But yeah, I've never met a video YouTuber who was rude. So I haven't had that experience yet. If there's somebody out there who's really rude, I haven't met them. Everyone I've interacted with has been really friendly. Either that or I'm just totally nutty. Just Matthew. Bye, Matthew. Thanks for stopping by. Who the heck is Rob Dyke? I don't know. He's got a YouTube channel, a very popular YouTube channel, and he makes scary videos. So, and who was that? Wood Turning John. Oh, hey, Wood Turning John. Where are you? You're up here somewhere. Is that you? Hard to tell in this hazy screen. Maybe I need to get a better. I think that's you. That's you right there. Do more dip it. Man, I'm working on it, Stefan. I just cranked one out for you. Are you not happy? There will be more dippets. What do you do with all the scrap shavings from your project? I suck them up in my shop vac and throw them in the trash. So here's a thing about resin. If you take resin shavings and put them in resin, they turn translucent. So you can't actually see them. But I get so many comments about it, I guess I'm going to have to make a video. But it's going to be really boring. It's going to be like putting shavings in resin and then casting it and then having a clear block. Be like, here you go. Now we can use it for nothing. The other one I get all the time is you should put wood shavings in resin. And I've done that, and it looks like particle board. So, but maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a lame dip it. Most suggested, but Peter knows it might not turn out. But maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'd be amazing. Maybe it'll be amazing. So I should just try it. Maybe we'll do an omnibus and try to do like 4 or 5 things, and I'll include those too. Or we could try dyeing. What if you put colored shaving? There you go. See, someone's always got a solution. I don't always think of all these things. Anthony wants to know if I'm interested in firearms. I like them. Yeah, shoot stuff's fun. Oh, fine. Hey, Steve Carmichael. Hey, Steve. Thanks for stopping by. And Anthony Eck. I'll save you my SpectraSplice shavings. Anthony, it's funny. When I first got into woodworking, the very first thing that I did after I made a couple of failures was I signed on to this forum called WoodNet. And I started listening to these guys that were really good at wood turning and woodworking and getting advice. And Anthony was one of the moderators. And he makes really cool boxes. So it's kind of neat to have him commenting on my video, considering that I was drooling over all of his turnings when I first started back in 2007. So that's kind of fun. Tips on making a CO2 pinewood derby for my school project. Oh, so Ty, you should watch my video on making a CO2 car and then do nothing like I did. Did nothing. It's the worst project I've ever made, hands down. I like the giant coin flipper better than the CO2. So yeah, actually what you should do is you should go into the comments for that video and read all the comments, because everyone in there was like, why don't you do this and this, this, and this, and like all the things you're supposed to do. Yeah, that was a horrible video. Horrible. Stefan wants to know, what do you think of Jimmy DeResta's channel? I love it. I love it. Some of you probably already know this, but I'll say it one more time. I'll probably say it many more times. The reason I started ShopTime was because of dirty money. So I was a semi-production woodworker, which means that I was coming into the shop and I was making bottle stoppers, boxes, pens, bowls, and I was selling them at craft stores, craft shows and stores around town. I would just walk into stores and I'd be like, do you guys want to sell these? And I was probably in about 4 or 5 stores around town. Now I live in the wine country and bottle stoppers sell here like crazy. So I was selling lots and lots of bottle stoppers, like 30 to 40 bottle stoppers a month. And every time I came into the shop, it was miserable. I hated it because I was making bracelets, I was making bottle stoppers, I was making pens, and it was all about making stuff to make money. And one day I just went, I hate this, I'm not gonna do it anymore. And I went back to all the shops that were on consignment, hadn't bought them out, and I took all my stuff and I brought it back to the shop and I just stopped. And I didn't go to the shop for like 3 months. I just was done. I totally burned myself out. And then there was a YouTube channel, YouTube video that was posted on Reddit called The Hatchet. It was Jimmy DeResta making a Baduk handle for his hatchet. And I was just enthralled. I watched every video he had. And then I went online and watched the Dirty Monies. They were on Netflix or something. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to try that. So I bought a flip camera because he said that's what he used. And I went out in the shop and I made a video. And my very first video, I even had in the tags, DeResta. I wanted to try to get some views and maybe he can see it. So yeah, so yes, I'm a big fan of Jimmy DeResta. If it wasn't for Jimmy DeResta, I would not have a channel. Now, my channel is nothing like his. I went a completely different path. But yeah, he inspired me to get out to my shop and make videos. So, big Jimmy DeResta fan. I got to tell him that last year. It was totally embarrassing for me and probably awkward for him. So we had the conversation. What is your favorite cocktail? I don't do a lot of drinking. I really don't. But I like a Moscow Mule. Do you have other hobbies? Video games. I play a lot of video games. If I wasn't doing woodworking, I was playing video games. So I have a Steam account, and I think this channel actually has a link to my Steam account. So if you want to friend me over on Steam, I don't really do anything. You can, I don't play multiplayer games or anything, but if you want to see what lame games I'm playing, you can go. Ty, going to the CO2 car. Let's good luck, Ty. You should stream a video game. Yeah, there's a lot of gaming channels out there. I was wondering if I was going to try that, but I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Did you enjoy Belly Belly, did you enjoy giving your kid foreheads? That was one of the best moments of my parental life. I love lying to my children in ways that don't hurt. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's just something satisfying. I think it's a father's job. You know, a kid needs that different spectrum. My wife, she's there. That she would never lie to my child. She doesn't give her reason to mistrust her. But I'm there to explain to her that the world isn't always a safe place. And sometimes people will say there's yummy candy that actually turns out to be horrible stuff. So, she needs those defenses, and who else is going to teach her that? All right, we are at an hour, so probably won't do this too much longer. Just wanted to do this as a test, see what you all thought. Hopefully it was fun. Hopefully you actually enjoyed it. Looks like we got about 50 viewers, which is awesome considering how little notice everybody had. So yeah, what has been your worst comment? I've gotten a handful of really nasty comments for sure. That is Shogun Jimmy. I think that's how you say that. But yeah, I try not to dwell on that because really, when you think about it, there's so many comments. I get so many comments that are just uplifting and good and helpful and supportive. That the handful of comments that really aren't. One, many of those people that make nasty comments are just doing it for attention. They're not really being mean. They're just like, hey, 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 notice me, notice me, notice me, notice me. You're a jerk. Hey, I noticed you. It's like they're not set out to be a total jerk. So, and the ones that actually are, that are actually being jerks, are just so minuscule. It's just so. I think for the majority of people, for the majority of the comments I get are just good. So I try not to dwell on the bad stuff. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your comments. Thanks for hanging out with me for an hour, listening to me babble on about stuff that doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll definitely try to do this again. If you like this, let me know. Leave a comment down there. Let me know that you liked it, and try to do it maybe next week. So, all right. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you guys later. Where's the off button?